lineups in the last 14 games, but the same as their last outing against Minnesota with 3 freshmen. Blue rolls Tum Tum Nairn Jr., second game back in the starting 5 at the point, along with those freshmen. And for Ohio State, you have Jaquan Lyle at the point, 7th straight start for Trevor Thompson, the big man down low. And for Tom Izzo, the Naismith Hall of Famer, last time on the road was the Philadelphia game against Penn State at the Palestra, where he said he was embarrassed by the way his team played. And now they are on the road again in Columbus against Thad Matta. 0-4 in the Big Ten for the first time under Matta, the Buckeyes' winningest coach. Terry Weimer, DJ Carstensen, Tom Eads, our veteran officiating crew for Michigan State and Ohio State.
And right now, Carter Blackburn. Woo! Ohio State goes! Minimum!
Always a good start to the ball game to hear that from you, Bill.
And they're all scripted. There's a double screen. Trying to get Harris off a little bit. Mention Miles Bridges. This kid can beat you in a lot of spots. Horn set, high-low. This is their initial look at the load up in the lane by Ward.
Langford with a triple from outside. So they start with that high-low, and Langford continues his hot hand.
And he's saying so much for the high-low. I'm going to drill it deep, and he has been able to get a middle game as well.
Coming up 13 points versus Minnesota. Just his 3rd double-digit scoring game of the year. Most of the Big Ten games. Loving can't answer. Thompson fights for the offensive glass. Lost it on the baseline. And then give the Buckeyes a second chance.
And that's so important, those second possessions. And Thompson needs a big game, stay out of foul problems. They are not deep. And Williams, a guy who can loosen up the D with that range of his.
Trevor Thompson faces up. So 2 chances, 2 misses, both from the Buckeye upperclassmen.
And getting back, so important to identify. They get a little small change on the baseline drive.
Harris bumped on the baseline. It is on Jayshawn Tate, a junior from Pickerington, Ohio. We talked to him yesterday about, all right, you're 0-4 in Big Ten. How do you turn it around? He says, you know what, for the upperclassmen, everyone says it, but it becomes really true. This goes by so fast. He says, I'm trying to enjoy every moment, no matter what the result.
It's an opportunity to take him in a little screen on the out of bounds. Not prepared, and Harris able to drill mid-range.
And Michigan State doing its best to take the crowd out of it. 5-0 start.
All good looks at this end, though, but you got to ring the bell, stay in touch.
Into the corner. Williams able to corral it. And get the first bucket for the Buckeyes.
Now, this kid really thinks offense, letting everybody in the house know. But just to build some confidence against Michigan State, you just got to stay in touch. It all starts with the defensive end, too. Be solid. You know Ward's going to load up, undersized at 6'8", 7-foot wingspan, however. Same set as earlier. Horns.
And Langford on the wing.
Bridges, this is that mid-post. He's so tough stepping out.
The freshman from Flint with that sweet left hand.
The lefties just look prettier for some reason. Knockdown jumper.
Michigan State starts 3 for 3. All 3 buckets are assisted, but we have a foul on Ward.
We'll use that body. This is where I think he's tough, because he can overpower smaller people. They run a slice cut to get him here, turn and face. He can put it on the deck. Little nylon stroke by the southpaw.
From Flint Southwestern High School and went on to Huntington Prep. Coming back from the ankle injury, the question is, where's the conditioning?
That was pretty funny, wasn't it? He thought he was, what, 80 or 90%?
Right.
After a 4-minute spell and exhausted, closer to 60, the top set.
Sweet move, Jayshawn Tate.
Playing a little spear, but this is where they hurt you. You don't get backing out. Lovey, tardy with the cover.
Langford has 5 of Michigan State's 9. They're off to a 4 for 4 shooting start. Jaquan Lyle can't answer. Spartans run again.
Tum Tum really gets it down in seconds.
Kick out, Bridges backing away for 3.
He owns you. I mean, he can post, step out, great at putting it on the deck. Missed 7 games, healthy, a different look for the Spartans.
5 for 5 shooting start. Bridges back in beast mode the way Mom Cynthia wants it. Loving turnaround. Out of bounds off the Spartans. Buckeyes keep it.
Nice call by Dad. Get Loving in the box area, but just his understanding of time, distance. Can I get this thing off? An amazing ability. And around the rim, the physicality he possesses is amazing. This is part of that, I think, rest period, don't you?
Right, Bridges will get a break ahead of the under-16 timeout. As we talked about that conditioning, I mean, he is winded on the bench, so trying to get him some extra time.
Yeah, Tom was saying just the bike and the treadmill, nothing like actually playing.
Payne back it in. Poked away by Goins. Late clock.
Got to drive it.
Lyle. Kick to Tate.
That's not his game.
Thompson, another offensive board.
This is his game.
Loving fights for the third chance and draws a foul inside as Ohio State shows some fight on the offensive glass.
You know, I expected this after watching practice yesterday. They were really getting after individuals, one another. They are as disappointed as their fans are. And that being the winner that he is, they are not as deep as teams or as accustomed as they are. And talent-wise, they're not the same either. And they got shorted with guys leaving early. Of course, the whole class of 16 leaving. So this is like a sort of a rebuilding. Let's stay in touch, maybe grab a few wins as we go through the season, and the recruiting they feel comfortable with.
In 3 of the first 4 Big Ten games on the road.
They are not easy, no question about it. The venues in this league, not too many on the park. Wade, a kid that can really spread the D2. They love the rub on the baseline, turn and lock low. Goins, what a specimen to screen.
Late clock, Nairn resets. 5 to shoot. Nairn kick to Ellis. 4-3.
That's
and
his
the
game.
Spartans continue the hot shooting start. Bill 6-for-6.
You got to get a hand on him and play him on the catch. That's his game.
All 6 baskets assisted for Michigan State.
And Lyle not really able to turn the corner to create some havoc in that lane.
Tate blocked on the baseline. Williams off the bounce. Deep 3. Lyle. Jaquan Lyle. Long range to pull the Buckeyes back within 5.
It's nice to be home, too. They need that support against this club. Van Dyke, the kid who can rebound on that offensive end. Little pocket pass, kick.
Out of bounds on Thompson. A near perfect start for Michigan State on the road. And an early 5-point edge on the Buckeyes. Michigan State's assisting on 70% of their baskets on the year. You know what's even better? 100%.
Hey, you know what's even better? The way he scripts things. Tom Izzo, and they're lighting it up. Good ball movement, using the bumps, which they do very well. Stepping out, creating modest posts. You're going to get up on the catch, or they're going to bury you. Although I do like Ohio State is competing. Loving, we mentioned off air, going for a rebound strong. They're going to be emotional. This conference will eat you up if you don't get involved.
You like the body language early from the Buckeyes.
I do, and I like your body language too. I mean, you didn't seem up for the game as well.
Yeah, well, I knew I was going to have to fight, so I'm grabbing the microphone away.
A little post entry and a hold right in the game. CJ, huh?
Yeah, CJ Jackson, the sophomore point guard. First year as a Buckeye out of Eastern Florida State Junior College. And I mean, maybe a second off the clock. That's Keita Bates' D-op stress fracture, left leg. He'll have surgery soon, likely applying for a medical red shirt. His season is done.
That's sad too, because not only for him, but the involvement for this team lengthens the bench. Solid contributor in all aspects of the game. Automatic switch. CJ at a disadvantage.
Winston running point for the Spartans. Takes the top 2, and there's Loving with another board. Buckeyes are +4 early on the boards.
Yeah, Winston Cassius is a terrific player. He's going to have a great career. Great feel for the game. Drills deep. Puts it on the deck. Automatic switch.
And the post again for Thompson.
He can do some damage here with those hooks and turnaround jump shots.
Nice baseline spin late in the clock for the redshirt junior from Indianapolis.
And they did not help either. They shaded. Didn't double.
So you have Winston off the bench again. Second straight start for Nairn as they've switched back and forth at that point guard spot.
Yeah, Winston really does a great job finding people. You got what you want then there, Goins.
Back to Winston, late clock.
Make them play half court. So essential for Ohio State.
McQuaid has to hoist it. Boarded by Jackson after the first miss. Second miss for Michigan State. Tate in the paint. Contact, and that's a blocking foul on Van Dyke. Tough one to take.
He took the brunt of that, too. Tate is a load coming down the lane. But they manufacture a fast break here in their early offense. Look how tough and strong he is. Jason, a little fire. Exactly what the Buckeyes need more of.
So Van Dyke picks up a quick second. Fifth-year senior, former walk-on.
And Potter on the floor, kid who can bite you deep. Look for him. I think he's going to improve as the year progresses. He'll get more and more minutes.
Jackson off the curl with the push.
Yeah, he's struggling a little from that deep shot. They said he had 103s in junior college, but get that lane, create that damage.
That's a walk. Yep. On Bridges. Back into the game after the break around the timeout. Turns it over.
Just a little too quick with that particular play, but once you get that opportunity in that lane, using that curl, you can see that he should have shortcutted that. He tried to tag his guy. Nice penetration, but a little go.
First turnover for either side. 7 straight for the Buckeyes to cut into 1. Tate fighting his way in. Blocked by Goins.
Yeah, they just hold their ground. They got 3 or 4 inches to give.
Harris in transition. Dump it off. Goins can't hit the free throw J.
Nice kick out by Loving. Go strong.
He does draw the foul. And Tate will head to the free throw line.
That's what they have to do. Attack.
Next Sunday, 18 people will go on the run from a team of expert hunters. CBS presents the real-time thriller Hunted, premiering next Sunday after the AFC Championship game, only CBS.
Well, this kid exemplifies college basketball, I think, with the effort he puts out every time he's on the floor. A lot of juice. Talking about being undersized, he makes up for it for strength and aggressive play.
And all the Buckeyes say with, when you're winless in conference and things aren't going, or you're coming off an NIT season, you need somebody to keep the spirit up. That's exactly what Jayshawn Tate has been this year for Ohio State.
This is one of those balancing years, I think, for them. You're going to get through this year with your dignity, pride, show young players that you're for real, and get it going forward. That's too good at what he does. He's not going to sit still and let this great program languish.
Tate's free throws put him on top. He gets a break with Wesson in there. Michigan State's missed its last 3 shots after the 6-for-6 start. And Potter, we have a foul on the post. It's Potter getting tangled up with Bridges.
Micah couldn't get his footwork correct. One thing about this Michigan State team now, they've got a lot of ways of beating you. They've got the touch outside and some inside strength, and also the ability to put it on the deck.
Off the inbound. Winston nearly got to steal one.
Yeah. A little shot clock situation.
Right. So Tom Eads is over there to check at the scores table. Buckeyes fighting back to take the 1-point edge on Michigan State after the near-perfect start for the Spartans. All right, we came on the air talking about how, last month, December, people are trying to figure out what's wrong with Michigan State. Now here they are 4-1 in the Big Ten, tied atop the standings. Where's the ceiling for this Michigan State team?
You want to know what's right with them now?
Sure.
Well, this guy loves the spring. And he I don't think he tinkers with his team, but because of injuries and not sure of what guy should be on which group. For example, he's got Nairn starting, so they have a little offense coming off the bench now. So I think it's part of adjusting and finding people. And, the injuries decimated him. Carter for one. Schilling, another kid, the size that they expected to help this year. Gavin Schilling.
Issues the clocks. They didn't start. So a shot clock there, 30. You see it is touched, and it doesn't start until all the way at that point. So you got to go over there and try and figure out how much time off. They take 3 seconds off total. Ready to go with the shot clock.
Cross screen. This makes them tough. And he can go either way. Loves that right shoulder, but he's learned to go the other way.
Ward in his homecoming game. This is inside. There's another board for Loving. That's 4 rebounds. Early for Loving. Buckeyes turn it over. So Winston brings him back. Drops it out for Harris.
Too long a pass.
Winston in the paint. Kick out. Harris triple. Way off.
And a nice job replacing, but didn't make it. Got to get back and balance the floor against this team. Some open opportunities. Get out and guard.
After that, they rally, brought in Scooney Penn, went to the Final Four. Keita Bates-Diop done for the year. That's just one of the issues the Buckeyes have had.
Well, part of the history here, you say Michael Red, Scooney Penn. Of course, he's a pretty fair player in the audience, too.
Yes.
Check him out a little later. Special K.
He's taking his blazer off of the day.
Well, I'm sure he worked yesterday, though. He never has a weekend off.
Lyle misses it.
Nice catch.
Run out for Bridges.
Ooh, how about that look? Woo. Unbelievable comp. That is a tough gather straight at the rim.
Michigan State had missed 5 straight since the hot shooting start. Until that bucket, we have an offensive foul on the Buckeyes.
Wesson, I think, on that moving screen, but the ability to run the floor and not cut. How about that? Right over the head. This kid is amazing. Finishes with either hands, and Miles is going to build a lot of bridges before he's finished. Double on one side, single. Pretty good work. They're really tagging the cutter.
Winston in the paint, kick out. Harris, 9 to shoot here.
They can play half court. So important. Down to 5 now. Keep them in front if you're Ohio State.
Winston nearly travels, recovers, and draws a foul with 1 second on the shot clock. An absolute bailout.
As a defender, you have to know the clock. You just have to make the guy reverse once sometimes. Spread those legs, contain, turn them this way. You can just say C.J. Jackson did not. And all of a sudden, because of that restraining area, 2-shot opportunity.
Called the foul on Wesson. Not a good stretch for him. Offensive foul on one end, defensive on the other. Get the CBS Sports app for inside access to Michigan State, Ohio State, or your favorite team like LaSalle. For instant coverage of every moment from every angle, download the CBS Sports app today.
Well, this kid's got a big upside. Goes either way. Got a floater game. Finds people. And gives them a real spark off the bench now. I think that's what they're happiest about.
Tate back in the game for the Buckeyes. Their leading scorer.
And Ward really does a good job with his hands and arms. Look at him standing tall. Forces a tough look, and he sprints to the other end.
Ward wants it down low.
I love the way he loads up, Carter.
On the shot fake, around Thompson with the left. Tough one for Nick Ward, the freshman from Gahanna, Ohio, Lincoln High School, suburb of Columbus. Early recruit to the Spartans, even though the Buckeyes wanted him. Loving off the curl, travel.
And the reason Ward got the ball, Carter, simply because he ran the floor and does a great job just loading up. This is the proper use of the derriere in layman's terms. And just nail your guy and just plant them, find them, and just the footwork he possesses. He goes over either shoulder now in a confident way.
Last 2 buckets in the paint for the Spartans.
Here he comes again and
fighting for it.
Yeah, Thompson really worked hard. That's a better job. Make him catch a little further out and get some help.
Forces the turnover, so then the big man running the floor for Ohio State wants it against the freshman Ward. Lyle. There's the 3. Jake-Paul Lyle ends a scoring drought for Ohio State.
Lazy defense went under, gave him the look. It might give him some confidence.
Almost 4 minutes without a bucket before that one for Lyle for Ohio State. Travel.
The ability to get some opportunities, whether it's offensive rebounds or steals. But look at this little help. Just stick your hand in there, be alert, be attuned, and then the run out the other end. Thompson with the handoff, and then that ability to knock it down by Lyle. That should certainly help their cause.
So Izzo's team with a near perfect start, and they're getting the fight that really he expected. This is not a surprise for Michigan State.
There's great respect for this program and Tad, no question about it.
Loving behind the screen from Tate.
Again, tardy defense. Langford absent.
5 points, 4 rebounds in the first half from Mark Loving.
Goins in the inside now. Not as big a threat in that high-low. They move him out with Bridges.
Nairn resets it. Here's Bridges. Langford, late clock down the baseline, projected inside by Loving, who has come focused and ready for Ohio State.
Slap
and
back.
Now in transition, a travel called on Loving.
Ooh, just put it on the deck. He would have had himself an open look. By the way, Langford, even though he was negated at the other end, that shows you that hesitation dribble. He's got a middle game, a deep game, and you just can't slide behind on these prolific scorers.
McQuaid back in for Michigan State. Bridges will get another break ahead of the under 8 media timeout. That travel by Loving was his second.
High five to the rim.
Pass on to Ellis out of the corner. Boarded by Jaquan Lyle. Back to Loving. Gathers. And here's it. Mark Loving with a bounce back triple.
And Lyle giving it up early. Let the big guy deliver.
Largest lead of the game for Ohio State. Trailed by 5 early. Lead by 5 with a 9-0 run.
A little offensive foul, and I think Ellis.
It is offensive foul on Alvin Ellis. His first.
Carter, it's tough to play a wounded team. This is a good basketball team, not a great team. Down, hanging their heads a little bit. Not a good performance up at Wisconsin, but a couple of days of practice. And when you've got a talented coach, you can sort of get into your guys, get them prepared, and boy, are they ready.
Loving draws the D.
Looking for a ball screen. I love this kid to turn and be a threat, though. He can shoot the ball, Potter. Pick and pop.
Williams in the corner, spinning around the court with a toe-to, making an 11-0 run for Ohio State.
Well, that adds the dimensions to his game. He can stand still and knock him down. A nice addition. I thought Langford could have beat Loving on that baseline. They emptied the side for him.
Late clock again for Nair. Ellis off the bounce in the paint, lost it out of bounds. And after Michigan State had the arena quiet here in Columbus, it's been an 11-0 run by the Buckeyes. They have brought the fight despite the 0-4 start in the Big Ten. Now can the Spartans respond on the road?
Once you get in the Army, you hear the term Ranger, and you look at it.
I think their defense has been excellent, particularly in the post area, rooting those big guys out.
You know, coaches deal with it all the time, but we talked to the players yesterday, and they said, we are focused and we're ready. Well, they backed that up with their play today against the Spartans.
They sure, kids don't like hearing it. And in this particular institution, sports are very important. With 2 on the shot clock now, it's a catch, dribble, shot. Plenty of nice hands again.
Knocked out of bounds, they'll keep it. Yep, now 1 second again. That was late coming off on the shot clock. Just 1 second. That could have easily been 2.
And that's the house guy, too.
Sure is, slow trigger.
We used to have a guy in New York, Fitzy Brody. The Knicks never got a short clock, let me tell you. Fitzy, man, the old magic fingers.
Surprised it never came up in the conversation with Coach Izzo. Everything else did, from Edgar Bergen and Charlie McCarthy.
Well, we do go back a little bit.
1 second to shoot. There's the ball knocked away by Potter. So it's a shot clock violation.
You know what's funny? I wish they would let the team that gets the ball keep going.
Right.
You know, because it was a fast break opportunity, and you played great defense. But, however, it's the rule.
You can suggest that to the rule committee.
Yeah, I'm sure they would listen to me.
4 turnovers in the last 3.5 by the
Pick and pop.
Spartans. Potter triple, boarded by Bridges.
And that's his shot, too. Tum Tum really, look at his slap back to an excellent stroker, and that's all Tum Tum.
Bridges nails the 3. 10 first half points. He has been the bright point for Michigan State, despite taking some breaks on the bench. Coming back from that ankle injury, trying to get in shape. The freshman from Flint.
Tum Tum's all about spirit, enthusiasm. He is wired. All about winning.
Tate puts it away. Rare finish with the right, yeah.
With a little juice on it, too.
Nared off the screen from Goins. Bridges to the corner, McQuaid.
That's his shot. And boy, they stretch the D, move it quick enough, you can't close out.
McQuaid was 1 for his last 8 coming in. The sophomore from Duncanville, Texas, holds the Spartans back within 3. Lyle
Size.
on there.
Size. Smart. Can elevate, plumb bob, and knock it there.
6'5" versus 5'10".
Yeah, easily. Can't let him turn the corner now.
Turns the corner, gets to the rim.
Lyle was not in the stance. You got to get down and be ready. And if you run into that bump, you've got to have a guy showing, stretching it out for you.
No surprise, C.J. Jackson will sub in for Lyle next dead ball. Williams pull up on McQuaid.
Boy, a lot of ISOs, huh? Individual ability prevailing in a large way.
Ohio State by 5 after they trailed early by 5. Led by as many as 7, the Buckeyes. Ellis.
Tough shot, challenge.
Didn't hit the rim. Tate has the board. Loving. Lyle in the corner. Off the shot fake down the baseline. Regathers. Kicks it back to Potter.
Ooh, I thought that was going down for him. A nice find by Lyle. Look at this kid push the ball.
Into Bridges and a hard foul by Potter. Tom Izzo was telling Nair, push it, push it.
How about Tum Tum, though? The ability. He is incredible. We're going to check to see if this is a 2 or 3. He's Tum Tum. They used to call me Bum Bum in my coaching days, but I think it was on the line. They're going to check it. That was instituted a couple of years ago by the Big Ten Network, but this kid getting blown by with the best of them, put it on the deck, and you got to get some assistance. And also at the rim, somebody's got to gather quickly.
Junior from the Bahamas made an emotional trip back home in the Battle for Atlantis tournament. Back to the Bahamas, came to the U.S. at age 13. Go back to the monitor here, and that may be a look at what we just, making sure that the foul was adjudicated correctly.
A nice little run, and of course you run if you know you got a guy, Potter, with a little bear hug there. Times Square, you'd get a ticket for that one. A little giveaway. Just making sure, maybe the thought of a flagrant.
Right.
So, as we would discuss last night, you would like intentional.
Right.
Which is really what it is. Flagrant sort of denotes something really tragic or malicious.
In the officiating parlance of our time, that would be a common foul on Michael Potter. Doesn't rise to flagrant 1, and certainly not a flagrant 2.
Very nice. It was like your outfit last night. Flagrant.
Bridges with 10 points, and he's headed to the line for a couple more for the freshman. Just 4th game coming back, so that cost him all of December. He's been aggressive in the last 2 for the Spartans. Tomorrow, Winter got you down. CBS has The Cure, a brand new episode of Kevin Can Wait. Kevin James stars in TV's #1 new comedy tomorrow, 8/7 Central, only CBS.
What's impressive about this kid is, we mentioned his touch, his ability around the rim, but his strength. I mean, he is a huge, very strong bodied kid.
Jackson in to run the point for Ohio State. So Lyle gets a seat on the bench for a while.
A little flex set right now.
Said Lyle takes a seat. He's run to the 2. So now it's Thompson backing in. Wood tees him up on the baseline.
Terrific presence with Ward, that wide body. Once again, Tum is so aggressive by nature. You get mismatches the way he pushes the ball up. Again, the roll, the curl.
Langford back down to the post. This is Ward. And this one won by Trevor Thompson in that matchup between the freshman and the redshirt junior.
I'd keep going to Thompson, make Ward guard him. That's sort of a settle.
I was bothered by Bridges. Didn't look like he got a piece of it, but hand in the face. So that sends us to an official timeout with Ohio State. A 3-point edge in Columbus. For the Minnesota game, Miles Mom sent the text to Tom Izzo and said, hey, Miles needs to get back into beast mode. So called Miles, told him the same thing. He responded with 16 points, 4 blocks. Izzo mentioned it after the game, and now she's the celebrity. People have been asking for her autograph after Tom Izzo mentioned her in the press conference. She's been working at Genesis Health Park for 39 years, where Miles was born. Said for the folks there and at South Flint Tabernacle, it has been a joy to watch Miles Bridges succeed with the Spartans.
Well, now we're going to be part of that enjoyment as well. Nice drive, fine. Kids are so good at keeping their pivot foot.
Late clock, kick out, McQuaid. Thompson has the rebound.
Love the way Ohio State's competing right now. Bodes well for the rest of the year if they continue this again. That's number 3, right?
It is. That's the 3rd travel called on Mark Loving. They only have 5 turnovers. 3 of them travels by Loving.
Establish the pivot. See, jump, stop. And you know what happens? They do it in practice. They have a habit that they form instead of catch. Establish a pivot foot. Howie Landa used to be a great junior college coach in Jersey. Later he was with Tark in Vegas. He made the kids use the same pivot foot. If you caught it, it was your left foot for life, or conversely the right. And sometimes when you see plays like that, you cough it up. Why not?
I'm stunned to hear you bring up a former coach from New Jersey, Bill. This is new.
Well, he was in Vegas now, and he was Maccabeef coach for many years.
Ward misses in tight again, so Thompson and Ward continue to battle. Now C.J. Jackson will reset, the sophomore from Charlotte, who is in a solid backup point for the Buckeyes.
Williams can elevate on jump shots, so can Lyle. A little size advantage, Ohio State. There you go for 1.
Now Lyle gives it up, and then a foul on Naird on the pass.
That's funny. I don't know why Lyle was willing to give it up. He had that ability. Nickel dimer in there, much to the chagrin. Generally, he's a pleasant individual other than the 40 minutes.
16 fouls on Michigan State. Jackson triple.
Over the top.
Yeah, and it's on Loving. So at good numbers early from Mark Loving, but now mistakes traveling and going over the back for a foul. Coming up, AT&T at the half. Adam and Seth will look at action from last night and today. Also, Seth digs out his reporter's notebook. All coming up, AT&T at the half.
Seth always has some great stuff. I know you can't afford a Sports Illustrated book, so maybe I'll send you my
I
leftovers.
still get it delivered in the mail.
And you do?
I feel like I deserve an award for that.
Drag screen out top and right to the rim. Top, nice catch.
Wow, tough one, but it spins out. Thompson couldn't finish inside.
Ooh.
Winston, they got away with one there. Back to Aaron Harris. He spins inside. A frenetic back and forth, ends up with the ball in the hands of Jaquan Lyle.
Boy, a lot of things happened during that sequence.
Well put.
Same play. Last time Thompson got too far under the rim to do the damage.
Loving on the baseline cutoff. Late clock. We haven't had a point in this game in over 3 minutes. Same score. 3 to shoot. Step back. Lyle. There's the draw with a step back 3.
he knows he's got the height disparity. And wow, what confidence to jack that one.
Buckeyes have led by as many as 7. A 6-point advantage now. Timeout with 1:02 from halftime at Value City Arena.
Hambo.
Struggled since, and now they trail by 6.
And really, Ohio State stepped up their defense, recognized all the curls, those bumps on the baseline, and really in the low post, not able to do some damage. And Michigan State, renowned for years, no offensive rebound.
No points in 3.5, no field goals in 5.5.
Now I like him right here now, Bridges. Nice hands.
Lyle tips it away, out of bounds. Off of Lyle, Spartans will keep it with 11 to shoot.
See if they go for the quickie to 2 for 1. As we know, a lot of college guys don't do it.
6 to shoot. Goins needs help. Langford contested from Lyle. Long rebound into the hands of Loving.
And Lyle had leaked out.
Loving 6 rebounds in the first half. Timeout by C.J. Jackson. Buckeyes have controlled the boards and lead it by 6.
Enjoy your phone.
You too.
For that. But also he said, you know what? I don't think if we played real well, we would have beaten Penn State at the Palestra. So much for nostalgia and loving to go to a museum.
Right? It was lots of
paid
credit
the price.
to Pat Chambers and all the young Philly players for Penn State, but just not happy with the way the Spartans played. That's their first time on the road since.
Well, Lyle can elevate if he chooses.
Loving cut up, fights his way in through contact, play on, and that's a very tough foul on Mark Loving.
A pretty good interior defense. This is competitive. Being in the right spot to help your teammate. Take your choice. There may have been Bridges underneath there that got a piece of it. Terrific job, and unfortunately, as you mentioned, on the floor, the giveaway.
And that is the second personal on Mark Loving, so he sits for the last 16 seconds. 1-1 with Langford going to the line. Spartans 63%. There are only 19 teams in the country worse than Michigan State from the free throw line.
How about that? And as you know, come tournament time, an empty, nice rebound.
First offensive board. So a chance for the Spartans to cut into the 6-point lead before the half.
Nairn loves to turn the corner and find somebody.
Nairn finds Langford for 3.
Big time.
First, second chance points of the half. Cuts it to 3, 36-33, so it's Michigan State who celebrates despite the fact Ohio State leads it.
That is one of the reasons Tum Tum is on the floor, always thinking of others. Give and you shall receive, a little nylon, all because of the little guy. And he is all juice as Langford completes the deal.
That is the end of the first half with the score 36-33, Ohio State. Now let's go to Adam Zucker in New York.
Thanks, Carter. Coming up on AT&T at the half, Seth Davis joins me, and we'll take a look.
In front of the home fans here in Columbus, trying to get it back on track for Ohio State. You have to be impressive here, Thad Matta, with those rebounding numbers. I mean, yeah, as Tom Izzo says, this is not a great rebounding Michigan State team, but you still go +6 on the boards in the first half against the Spartans.
No question about it. Their intent is where it should be, and if they can carry this forward this half and the rest of the season, you know, Jay Sean Tate, we always talk about with the spirit and just getting totally involved in the game. The rest have to follow his suit.
Jay Sean told us yesterday, we owe the Spartans one.
A little slapping of the floor like Wojo by the Spartans.
Now the Marquette coach. Out of the post, Trevor Thompson. Goins who starts out on Thompson to begin the second half. So
nice.
Inside, Thompson through the contact, finishes around Kenny Goins.
And Williams with patience on the reset, load up by Thompson.
So Ward will come off the bench to begin the second half. It's Goins out there at the 5 for Michigan State. 9 to shoot. Back out to Langford. Langford short, long rebound. Langford dives on the floor, still loose, and finally tie up. Possession arrow will keep it on this end.
And those are the ones you want if you're Ohio State. And really, you'd love to get the big guy as he reloads in here. A great job of staying with it. The correct hand leads him to that drop step move. And Trevor, unbelievable opportunity, and a guy that used to do it here regularly. Special K, huh?
Mm-hmm. Draws a lot of water around Columbus.
He's on the Board of Regents here.
Right.
A busy guy. Nice slap. Loving.
Langford on the ground again, and now Tate gets down there. Loving's holding his right knee after going to the floor. Early timeout with Ohio State and Michigan State diving on the floor.
Everybody knows Enterprise picks you up. But can they solve all?
Ends up playing for the AFC Championship again.
It was fun watching that game last night, wasn't it?
It was.
With our crew.
Texans D played great.
Mark Wolf and Bob Fishman trying to teach me football.
Right? How'd it go?
Unsuccessfully, I might add.
Maybe you should ask Tom Brady next time you see him.
I think he'd teach me a little more.
Right.
Right now, sense of urgency, I think, for this Ohio State team. That's the way they got to play. And after the timeout, a lead errant pass. Not connecting. Harris to Langford.
That really hurts you as a coach, right? Out of a timeout, you got just what you want, turnover.
You're a little bit frustrated, no question about it, but judgment has to prevail.
Ward back in, the freshman in his homecoming game. Off the bench to replace Goins.
Nice hold, that little 44 there, Ward. I thought he was going to chalk. They're taking away that little maneuver. In the old days, that would be typical. Try and change the cutting path.
Foul is on Ward, his second. Quickly off the bench, gets number 2.
Yeah, nobody playing the inbounder here. He could be the next touch. They don't recover it. They do.
Lyle, so a deep 3. Cam Williams sends the Spartans on the run.
Boy, Tum pushed the ball. You've got to be ready defensively.
Down the baseline, and Bridges has his first bucket of the second half.
And that's that ability to use either hand. I mean, finesse with power. What a combo.
That is 14 points in 17 minutes for Bridges. Tate trying to respond, takes it right at him.
I love this kid. He's one of the, like Stevie Thompson years ago at Syracuse, undersized kind of a player that can wow you, and Thompson gets one on the other end against Ward. But Bridges, you've seen some of the outside shots now. Look at the footwork, and now watch him to the proper hand because he didn't have an angle with the backboard in the way, and some power personified with the southpaw delivery. Jay-Sean, big time.
Good news for Ohio State, the foul on Thompson, just his first. Off the curl, Aaron Harris with a bucket. Pulling Michigan State back within 3. Spartans led by 8 early. Ohio State led by 7 in the first half.
Jay-Sean wants to go again.
Loving draws the foul, and Loving, who's taken some blows, including to that right knee, off the deck again.
Yeah, when he fell, somebody landed on him. Fortunately, it wasn't a twist or turn. Nice little baseline maneuver. They didn't get a good angle to use the glass.
Talked about the 3 turnovers for Loving, but 8 points and 6 rebounds, and aggressive on the boards. Part of the fight for the Buckeyes.
Everybody has to step up, I think, if they're going to have a decent year, a tournament year.
Won over 1,000 career points 2 games ago in Minnesota. Loving, who's from Toledo, whole family Buckeye fans, but he is the first to attend Ohio State.
As I look up at these banners and I look at that 1960, right, championship. Lucas Havlicek. Unbelievable tradition here. Nice penetration to find. Tum.
Harris finishes again off the dish from there.
Tum with a stomach massage. He really just breaks you down. Take away his left.
So Tate guarded by Bridges. Trying to spin in, goes left. Loose ball, tap out, into the hands of Bridges. Spartans have numbers. Miles, offensive foul.
They're going to wipe it out.
Freshman mistake. Loving draws the charge.
I thought he could have crossed it over and gone to his right hand here and just curled and not really gone straight ahead. And it got half the body around. A little crossover dribble. Open move, and there it is. How about that? Siegfried, and there was a substitute on that bench. The general.
Right.
Robert Knight. Fred Taylor was the coach. I don't know where you were then.
No,
I was
away.
A distant dream.
Lyle misses the three. Yeah, Taylor won that national championship early in his career. Naismith Hall of Fame. Nair pushing again. Ward gets the follow and one.
As fast as Nairn is, Ward has shown today and on tape his ability to get from one end to the other, to be in position to dominate. He's on the left, and this is normally a made field goal because the big fella gets those puppies up and down, able to deliver the punch at the rim.
And when you talk about the big men running the floor, Ward has gotten in remarkable shape. He's lost at least 25, maybe closer to 30 pounds since he's arrived in East Lansing. So he has gotten that message to play well for the Spartans, got to get it in shape.
No question about it. He should hang it out with us with our dinner plans. He'd lose a lot of weight. And this kid, just such a 6'8", which is amazing. Plays bigger. He's strong. Empty side.
Played for the Golden Lions in high school, at Lincoln High School here in the Columbus area. Potter misses the three, follows it.
Kept his pivot foot that time, Lovey. Pump to Williams. Elevate. Or Lyle, excuse me, Lyle.
Lyle off the mismatch, draws the double around.
Gotta see it quicker. That may disappear if we don't take advantage.
8 points this half of the Buckeyes, 6 of them in the paint. Nair turns the corner and gets to the rim behind the screen from Ward.
Boy, he just turns the corner. No presentation by the big. Whew, little steam out of that guy. Nice curl.
Loving shot big. He'll head to the free throw line again with Ohio State by one. Tom Izzo trying to will Michigan State back to the lead. CBS Sports coverage of NCAA men's basketball will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
These little grillers are the ultimate snackable grilled cheese.
Oh, great, man. Like
Not the least bit afraid. He's been doing it for years, and then he laments the fact he overscheduled. He's traveling too much. Of course, the family likes it in the summer with those frequent finals. But they do compete, and it makes them better come tournament time. He's not afraid to mix it up and have his kids learn under the gun.
Saw Nick Ward just got his third, so Kenny Goins back into the game. Ward's third foul sends Mark Loving back to the free throw line.
Ohio State doing a much better job. That's their 9th point, 6 in the paint.
Are you surprised that Clark's making his way around the building, shaking hands with everybody?
He is very well known and appreciated here, no question about it. A favorite in this arena and pretty much around the country. He's the sweetheart of a guy, great player, great talent, our colleague.
Boy, it is such a joy to work games with Clark Kellogg.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I don't blame you either.
Nairn and Jayshawn Tate get into it. Tate draws the foul. And they do a little jawing back and forth. Tum-Tum's headed to the free throw line.
I don't want to say I'm getting older, but I actually did announce some of his games.
Sure, Clark's.
Great performer. And even in the NBA with his Pacer days.
Call that on the floor. So fouls on Jayshawn Tate. Thompson checks back in. No shots here. Off the inbound. McQuaid hits the J to pull the Spartans back within one.
And that's 3 on set plays out of bounds, and you know Ohio State went over them. Execution. Once again, they've rode this pretty good. Nice look.
Behind the back, Tate with the left, can't finish. Fight for the rebound on the baseline. Won by the Spartans. A chance to take the lead.
Great, really great at being a threat. If you run out, he pump fakes, side saddles for a 3.
Naird off the screen from Goins.
Drive and replace.
Orns puts the Spartans on top. Kyle Orns, another Ohio native from Versailles, buries it.
You have seen some great execution now on the high ball screen and the ability to replace, and then the conversion by Orns.
Last time Michigan State led, Ohio State responded with an 11-0 run.
Really, just again, the out of bounds plays in this particular play we're going to see, and then the fill to set it up by Orns, and that is just great execution. You got somebody at the rim, you got an open look on the other side, and why not? The acknowledgement, you put me in for that, coach, and I'm delivering.
And a homecoming game, he had 6 points in the first 5 Big Ten games, and his triple puts the Spartans up again on the Buckeyes. Lyle off the screen from Thompson.
Oh, going to be a settle.
Takes it anyway and knocks it down. 16 in the game for Jaquan Lyle.
Slice cut ball screen.
Bridges on the wing. There resets.
I think Bridges can get inside. I think he can do some damage on take that modest post up.
Late clock. 5 to shoot. Bridges mishandles it. Back into the hands of Naird. He'll have to attack. Float it. Shot clock violation. Didn't hit the rim.
Pretty good set defensively by the Buckeyes. Tom's a little upset when you do pass up a shot late. You get the opportunity, you got to take it.
That's the coaching point as Naird takes a seat on the bench.
We'll get into it quicker, and that's pretty good defense. You've got to make Michigan State play half court.
Winston, the freshman, back in and
Not his game, not his game.
Tate misses the long 3. Here's Winston trying to push as Ellis hits the deck.
There's the post up. They just can't get it to him. He's got a reset down there, Bridges.
Winston through traffic, lost the handle.
Once again, late.
8 to shoot. Bridges, that's a 2, and it's an air ball into the hands of Williams.
You want to get better, Ohio State. Keep guarding like this.
Oh,
turnover.
Yep. I guess it was, yeah, there's the call. There's the call, bit delayed, but Terry Weimer has it at midcourt.
Foot must have been on the line. I thought he jumped up. Let's see. Ooh. I think this is a play on. Pretty good effort.
Spartans another chance to regain the lead. Winston, 2-man game with Goins, getting down to the post. That's before the shot. Got a foul on Jackson.
Jackson with the reach in. Sloppy defense. Got a 3-quarter. Be in position. Just don't concede. If he catches it, you've sold out and given him a goal. And again, this has been their best weapon, the out of bounds. Michigan State, so solid. Double.
And Winston nearly got him sleeping again. Thompson the board, and then a foul called on Bridges, fighting for the board.
Yeah, totally committed.
That's the second on Bridges.
Pretty good effort. He had that charge earlier. This is one where trying to anticipate, which we have seen him do in other games, and finish with aplomb.
And again, we're stuck on that number, 49-48. Has few empty trips.
I think Thompson can do some damage. They get him some touches down in that box. Got a few inches on Goins.
Instead, Lyle, boy, thought about the step back, then finds Thompson coming over on the help.
What a great job by Goins.
Oh, in transition, yes, and it spins in to put the Spartans back on top.
Defense set it up.
6th lead change. Both teams have led by as many as 7. Lyle resets.
Getting a little breath right here. Under 10.
Late clock. Refuses the screen. Finds Jackson in the corner. And will make victory for C.J. Jackson.
Boy, do they need him to contribute.
And the Buckeyes get it right back. Loving back into the hands of Jackson. Bridges takes it away. Bridges draws a foul.
Lyle, I think, on the giveaway. But
It is.
valuing the ball so important. Just making better decisions. Lovey's got to control himself. They're going to win this one late. The defenders, because the bigs just can't step out and control him. Just love his indomitable spirit. And I'm not crazy about my voice.
I don't think America is either.
No record contracts today.
No. Second game back in the starting five for Nairn. He played well in that game at the Palestra at Penn State. So earned his way back into the starting five. Winston's in at point now. A freshman from Detroit.
I look for a little more offense from him. Brush screen.
Bridges tipped away by Jayshawn Tate. Gets the steal. Buckeyes on the run. Potter lost it on the way to the rim. So Bridges brings it back. Kick to the corner. Bridges on the post.
Pretty good reaction, I'll tell you, defensively.
Finds Winston. And a fight for the rebound. Out of bounds. Off of the Buckeyes. Michigan State ball.
The other end, you got to catch that ball. Micah just not trying to make a play instead of catching and trying to go up strong.
Already 7 lead changes back and forth.
I'm just thinking you better be in shape to play this game.
Right.
They are really pushing, and your recovery has to match.
Bridges in the corner with a good screen. He knocks it down for 3 to put Michigan State back on top. Momsenthius is, beast mode again. Or Miles from Flynn.
Mom likes the out-of-bounds plays that Tom Izzo has drawn up. They are killing it. Nice screen and up and down.
That's a travel.
And that's what happens with size, too. They gives up some inches, but Bridges just really a good understanding how to set his man up. And just the screen. Look at the double there. Goins, you need a roll of quarters to get around that big wide body. And that pure little stroke. Power and touch.
17 points and 6 rebounds on the road for the freshman Miles Bridges. Off a good screen from Ward.
Ward really hasn't had many opportunities to get pretty good inside D.
Langford nearly turns it over. Ward gets the loose ball. Knocked out of bounds and a foul called on Potter. Late in the shot clock again, and that'll be the 3rd on Micah Potter.
Yeah, he just gets frustrated and reaches in at the end of this particular play. Otherwise, you got to at some point make a decision and back off.
So the freshman big man will check out again for Ohio State. Thompson back in. Thompson, who has struggled with foul trouble mightily, only has 2. So good news for the Buckeyes.
I think that would be a big factor here. If he could stay on the floor, put a lot of pressure on the inside people. They got to communicate Ohio State now on these out of bounds. There's a double on one side. Langford will either pin down or use the double. Here he comes for the double. And then the slip to the goal. Much better coverage.
So force him into the half-court offense now, right?
You can get them late in the shot clock. Nice
Winston,
run.
slipping Ward, draws the contact, draws a foul.
I think it was Lyle underneath.
And it is. Question whether it's Lyle or Thompson. Lyle gets it.
Now the timing of when you go to the goal is the essential part of the slip. And right here, the wide body with a pretty good catch. And underneath, Lyle alertly trying to help though.
1-1. Join your favorite stars in TV, movies, and music when Joel McHale hosts the People's Choice Awards live Wednesday, 9, 8, 7 Central. Only CBS. 9, 8 Central, only CBS. Wesson behind the screen from Tate. Bridges has another board.
Got to get better shots, I think. Got to get something going to the rim. Look at this steps, but I'll tell you that, what if he had done it right? That's a blow by with a big time attack
That is the 4th turnover by Bridges. In transition this time.
A little bit of a hurry.
Coach Izzo disagrees. The native of Iron Mountain, Michigan. So he's daring back into the game for Winston.
Amazing guy, isn't he? When you think of what he's been able to do. Sitting there with Judd Heathcote all those years and then putting this program on his shoulder, year in and year out, a factor.
Last time they didn't go to the NCAA tournament, 1997.
How about that? Hall of Famer, and rightfully so.
Jackson in the corner. Late plot.
Nice load up here.
Thompson takes the freshman inside.
And that's all using a reset, a big wide body. He could really help this team. They don't have numbers, but it's a nice little take by
Jackson steals it, draws the foul, and has a chance to put the Buckeyes back on top with the hustle in the backcourt.
What's important, that Jackson plays well. He can force Lyle to play well. Get some minutes from him or play alongside him. That's what they need. Lengthen this bench. Have some spirit in that backcourt.
CJ is Cleveland Jr. Dad played at Georgia. He's coached both high school and college. CJ was going to go to George Mason, but Paul Hewitt fired, so he decided to take the junior college year, do the recruiting thing all over again, ends up playing a big role in his first year as a Buckeye.
He's going to get a lot of minutes next month or so here.
That steal by Jackson, the 7th turnover of the half by Michigan State, but over from the line, even at 54 still.
He has that high trajectory, and he really worked hard. He wasn't able to make those 2 free throws, Jackson, but number 3 on a nickel dimer inside. The physicality of Ward really puts pressure on a guy like Thompson.
And that is the 3rd on Thompson, way away from the ball, sending Ward to the free throw line. Gets the front end of the 1-and-1.
Good for him. 54%. Not a bad looking stroke. That should improve.
There we talk about how Thompson has stayed out of foul trouble. He's had 4 foul outs already this year. Came off the bench for a while. Embarked to try and stay out of foul trouble, and now he gets his 3rd.
Yeah, steal 5 minutes before he gets one.
Loving attack. Drops it on to Trevor Thompson. Off the look from Mark Loving. Tied at 56.
Ward not in the defense. Look at this now. They got numbers here.
Nairn attacks.
Good recovery. What a great play at the other end, though.
Into the post for Ward. Knocked away. Nairn recovers.
Oh, nice job by Williams. Doubling late.
7 to shoot. Onto the wing. Triple. Spins out. What a rebound. But Langford can't get the stick back. Jackson pushing the Loving.
Bad pass.
Travels again.
Bad pass caused the walk. Boy, a good pass would do the damage. It makes it tough on Loving, but the ability to make plays. Ward opens up big time.
Tied back and forth in a good basketball game, huh?
Yeah, I love competing. I mean, they're playing with effort. They're doing some terrific things. Occasionally a slippage with a bad shot or the pass at the end of the half. But getting back defensively has made Michigan State work their half court. And it's really helped them maintain or stay in touch.
So you have Michigan State, who's tied atop the Big Ten, against Ohio State, who is winless in the Big Ten. But I think both sides know, hey, Michigan State's not dominant. Ohio State is better than 0-4.
Right, better than advertised. Basically, it's all about suiting up and getting out there and leaving it all on the floor.
3 minutes without a field goal for Michigan State.
And Lyle back in.
Ward takes it on the post.
I think you got to force him baseline. Even though he has a counter, he's too good right there.
He wanted to clear out. He wanted to go right at Thompson.
If he wants a clear out, he's going to get one.
So make it the 9th lead change as Michigan State goes back on top. Lyle on the wing for 3. Buckeyes back on top.
And Williams with the delivery.
Nairn off the the screen from Bridges. The freshman spinning inside. Ward couldn't corral it. Loving has another board.
Nice job helping out by Loving. Go to Thompson early here.
Lyle push-up off the window.
And he dragged two people. He had the option of hitting the big fella. A little kiss in the delight of Columbus.
21 in the game for Lyle.
Look at Ward. He owns that. Nice block.
Doesn't own it for long. Thompson rejects Ward. And now with 9 seconds, the Spartans will inbound again.
Thompson not really doing a good job with his homework early, but walling up big time, and a real good piece of officiating too. This year, it's more recognized by officials. Body attack. Stay tall, big fella.
Ward and Lyle get tangled up. Play on. Late clock. 6 to shoot. Ellis finds Ward. Loving draws the foul. Offensive foul on Nick Ward. That is his fourth as Loving draws the charge.
How alert has Loving been? I have not seen him immersed in a game like this year. Contributing at both ends of the floor. Terrific read, helping his partner out, and then really selling it big time.
So the freshman big man from the Columbus area on the bench for now. With Ohio State by 3. Like I said, play clock a moment ago. We're on the hardwood now. Tate in the corner. Tate gives Ohio State a 6-point edge.
60% from 3, and now the timeout by Michigan State.
8 straight for the Buckeyes.
It isn't always easy to know where you stand financially. Multiple accounts, investments, insurance. It can leave you wondering how it all fits together. At Northwestern Mutual, we help you see your whole picture, find out what you truly want, and then together we design a plan to go get it. There's a confidence that comes in knowing what financial security is and doing what it takes to achieve it. At Northwestern Mutual, we help you live life differently.
Let's take a look at the AT&T Fast Analysis.
Well, when you start making some shots, everybody's a little bit happy. Ball movement, essential in the far corner. Stepping back, and if I'm not mistaken, this is number 4 at 60% by Tate. He's more of an attack guy and a rebounder. He and Nigel Goss-Williams, the only guys 6'4" or under, getting 6 rebounds a game, but he makes that. Boy, does that complement his power game.
What a time to get your 4th made 3 of the year, and now Jayshawn Tate steals it away. Attacking, finding Lyle in transition as Tate hits the deck. Thompson finishes inside, and the Buckeyes lead it by 8.
Lyle with the find. Goodness, if he plays like this, with this kind of involvement, they are a tough out.
With those Ohio State upperclassmen leading the way, they were just, looked like a little basketball from the stands came out for a stoppage.
I thought they could have picked up a charge here if he held his ground, and there gave it up. But how about this find, and Thompson running the floor. Good defense, and after the 3, why not guard a little bit? T-shot, lifted the spirits.
He's the one who told us we owe the Spartans one. 9 to shoot.
They ice it one way.
2 to shoot. Ellis didn't recognize it. Rejected. Shot clock violation with a huge emphasis block from Trevor Thompson. And the Buckeye fans celebrate.
Boy, does this tell you what you can do when you get down and get to business late? And why not? Not only a block, but a message delivered big time.
Largest lead of the game for Ohio State. Lyle. Tap out. Back into his hands.
Off the head, though.
Yeah, on the baseline, out of bounds to the Spartans.
I didn't think he had to be in that much of a hurry. Just a little patience, going to the well quickly.
So where does Michigan State go to respond?
Well, the ability to run some offense quicker, I think, is what they have to do. On the floor now, it looks like run the post bumps. Whether they get that open look for Ellis or McQuaid. Goins one of those guys that can post up for him, but I think it's going to be the rubs. I just like that little play, the slice cut to the block.
Nairn kick out to Ellis, who draws a foul. That's a 3-point foul by Trevor Thompson. That's his 4th personal, and 3 shots coming.
Boy, you just don't want him in that area of the floor. Goodness, he tried to really slide by. Don't even get close. Yeah, you can see the follow through, getting the wrist. That's enough to throw the shot off. That's like composure. Just relax.
Tonight, an invitation for a unique tour inside the West Wing for President Obama's last appearance on 60 Minutes. You won't want to miss what he has to say tonight, only CBS.
Now you asked where they should go. They ran a slice cut to the box for Bridges, but in a hurry, they went the other way.
So Ellis gets the 2nd of 3. That ends a 10-0 Ohio State run. Thompson's on the bench with 4. That matchup of big men, you have Ward on the bench for Michigan State with 4 as well.
Dave Dickerson saying, hey, I love your hustle, but that's one of those to pass on.
Ellis gets 2 out of 3. Cutting it back down to 6.
They'll pin down and curl. Nice cover.
Williams backs it out.
Loving's got some range here.
Tate now posted up with Bridges. Now he comes out to screen. 7 to shoot. Lyle. Late clock on McQuaid. Crosses over. Dumps it off. Foul on the way up. Micah Potter. Off the dish from Jaquan Lyle. Ohio State seeking its first Big Ten win of the year. Up by 6.
On a 10-0 run, a lot of it loving you. Beautiful bounce pass, Lyle stretching the D, and then the drive, little kiss rewarded. And this is a little magic. You got to go when Tate's knocking him down, but Thompson able to finish around the rim, and this is one of the key things with these 2 big guys.
Ward back into the game with his 4 personal fouls. So the freshman is out there while the redshirt junior, who has 4 personal fouls, still on the Ohio State bench. And for 2 guys in the top 15 all-time Big Ten wins, see a little back and forth between Izzo and Mata.
And you can afford Thompson because you got the lead. Keep him there a little bit more.
And Potter at the free throw line, who's in there because of the foul trouble for Thompson. First one spins out. Trevor Thompson with 10 points, 8 rebounds in the game, but on the bench right now with 4 fouls.
This one's big because you had a dunk at the rim that was blocked. You get a chance. There you go.
Potter gets 1 of 2. Ohio State by 7.
You got Ward on the floor. You got to use him. I think Bridges and Ward, they haven't really run their high-low. Here's the high-low setup. And Aaron bouncing the ball, and great defense again, pushing it later in the shot clock.
Nairn on the wing, back out, Bridges straight away with the left to pull him back within 4.
Tiger! That kid he's going to be wearing gold shoes the rest of his life. He's going to have enough. He keeps playing like this, he's going to have a life hereafter.
20 in the game now for Bridges. Williams off the screen, takes the bump, and earns 2 shots from the line. The foul on McQuaid.
Yeah, a little bit late, and Bridges here with some contact on this stroke here. See if anybody gets a piece of him. Still able to, yeah, that's enough to jar a shot, really. Unfortunate to dodge one, but the range of this kid and power, what a tough out he is.
So 3 there for Bridges, could have been 4. And now Cam Williams to the free throw line, the redshirt junior from Baltimore. And he's bounced back from one of his worst games a couple games ago in Minnesota.
Now they collectively have to play well together. And they just can't rely on one guy, Ohio State.
Williams puts the Buckeyes back up by 6.
So Greg Paulus there does the defense. Burchett does the offense for Bad Mata. Little horns and a dive to the rim.
Bridges looking for Ward. Cut off. So Bridges takes it back. Down the baseline. Bridges attacks. Takes it right at Potter.
How about that? The adjustment to the right hand with body control.
22 now in the game for Miles Bridges. His 4th back from the ankle injury that cost him all of December. Trying to lead the Spartan comeback on the road.
Lyle's got to use good judgment now. Be under control, find people.
Off the curl, Williams. Fight for the rebound, won by Ward. Almost picked in the backcourt by Loving.
Thompson up to come in. Potter's got to do a good job defensively once he goes down and settles in a low post.
They're in there to help out Ward.
They ice it again.
10 to shoot. Bridges again, stepping back on Tate. This one, Ward yanks it, loses it, however, out of bounds on the baseline after Ward had the tough one rebound.
Great rebound. He didn't foul, but Potter's got to stick him. You can't let that guy come up with it. We're very fortunate this goes out of bounds. You got to bend over and keep this really strong young guy away from the tip.
Lyle brings it up. Got the double high on Tate, on Thompson. Lyles turns the corner, gives it up to Loving. Tate almost
A double
deflected.
tick, yeah. Use Thompson. He's got to go to work now.
Cross court, kick out, Williams. Can't knock it down. Michigan State brings it back, trailing by 4 with a minute and a half.
Got to go through Bridges and the big guy Ward, I think. Anything outside's got to be on a kick out.
Nairn resets. 10 to shoot. Looking for the screen from Ward. 5 to shoot. Nairn, Bridges covered up. Gets rid of it. He traveled with it again. Back to the Buckeyes.
Great defense by Lyle and Tate. Terrific reaction. He thinks he's got one, and I look at the close as Tate comes in here just to disturb and throw him off a little bit. Boy, they're getting late. Michigan State really has not done a good job getting into their stuff early enough.
The numbers for Bridges have been remarkable with 22 points, but that is his 6th turnover. And 16 today for Michigan State. Timeout with the Buckeyes, a minute 6 away from their first Big Ten win.
Some people look at the stars and want to...
Yes. Now, you've gotten a couple of looks at that UCLA team.
Oh, they're absolutely phenomenal. We got them early in the year against Kentucky. I mean, that really shocked everybody down in Lexington. But right now, it's all about getting good shots if you're Michigan State and getting quicker into your sets. They extend the floor now, so you got to value the ball. Ohio State's got to come to the ball. And Lyle, with that high dribble with Nairn on him, is a concern. So he's got to protect it.
Loving, trouble getting it in bounds.
Nice play.
Into Lyle.
Nice post up. Be careful now, got to protect.
1 minute. Ward's on the bench right now for Michigan State with his 4 personals.
Now you want to run a little bit of clock, but run your offense so you're not stagnant under 10.
And now settling into it. Lyle's going to get the run-out screen from Thompson with 9 to shoot. Turns the corner. Lyle tries to kick it inside. Taken away by Nairn. Loose ball. Tate knocks it back. Loving will pick it up in the backcourt. And just a 6-second differential.
They gave him a reset and the giveaway in the backcourt trying to get a shooting foul.
Fouls on Ellis.
I don't know if that was a change of possession, by the way.
Yeah. Whether Michigan State ever controlled it to get the reset of the shot clock.
Right, they got a full 30.
But that's exactly what happened there. And then the foul because 2 possession and not much differential, right?
Exactly. This is late in the shot clock now. Maybe they're considering that one dribble enough of it.
Lyle misses the first. Both teams double bonus now. Only one timeout left for Michigan State. Jackson was about to check into the game, and Dave Dickerson 10 feet on the floor to bring him back. Hang on, just he's subbing in for the shooter.
So they want some defense. Lyle in there. They got
didn't get the substitution. Now the horn. I mean, that's a late horn because they want to get Jackson in.
I don't think they heard the horn, though. I thought I heard it right away, and they had handed the ball or taken it out of bounds.
And so that is when I think Thad Matta wants a timeout here as well.
I think he's going to get a free one right here. He's got 2 left, so might as well save it.
Back to the monitor, and now again, made free throw sub waiting.
See the horn? You heard it?
Before the ball's inbound.
At your age, hearing does go early.
Sure. So the substitution, I mean, clearly Jackson was there at the table. That was the...
And Jackson, a defender with some speed, too, with Nairn.
So the Spartans need a quick one.
Quick hitter.
Here's Bridges on the wing. Off the bounce in the paint. Bridges gets the quick one they need.
And they get the timeout, too. They get their D-set.
Timeout, Michigan State. We step away for 30 seconds.
He's guarding all over.
Bridges has scored the last 7 points for Michigan State. Buckeyes have gone 5+ without a field goal, and yet still lead it by 3. Remember, 2 timeouts left for Ohio State. Loving uses 1 here. So 1 remaining for Ohio State with 20.6. And how big is that timeout on the inbound?
Now they had a play set and lollygagging with the Ohio State player. Not at the hand, away from the defender.
So in the hands of the senior on the inbound.
1-4, they're going to have a couple of guys go deep.
Tate's going deep. They get it inbounds, and the foul immediately given by McQuaid. He may not have meant to, but he gives the foul, sending Cam Williams to the free throw line.
I think he may have, though. He didn't have much of a choice. He didn't have a fellow trap guy with him.
And how about for Ohio State to get in the hands of Williams, their best free throw shooter?
Yeah, exactly. Now you got to step up and make him. And you still think, too, no matter what happens, for Michigan State, push, try and get something going right to the rim as quickly as possible.
Williams, the redshirt junior. So now another question about a substitution here is Nairn's looking to come into the game.
Another free timeout over there. And Mata taking advantage.
Had both clock and substitution issues. Now we're going to go back to the monitor, I believe, with 20.6. And in fact, that's exactly what have Terry Weimer and Tom Eads going back to the monitor. So Weimer will have a look, and that may be another timing issue. Ball inbounds, foul called as to whether time came off the clock.
Could be. Exactly.
I mean, clearly the foul's on McQuaid.
Right. Nobody else was in the area. Yeah, nothing really came off. It's got to be a couple of tenths at least, don't you think?
Sure. You know, for Thad Matta, anytime you start conference play, you're 0-4. People aren't going to be happy. Thad Matta knows that, especially coming off an NIT season. But you talked at length yesterday about how every great coach you've ever known has had a dip.
Oh, absolutely. No question about it. They're pivotal times in their career. And we all talked about Mike Krzyzewski years ago, 3 years and struggling. And Tom Butters decides to give him a opportunity. And we were blessed and fortunate to watch him all these years. So this is just a tough time right now in terms of winning games and a tough beginning of the Big Ten schedule for them. And this one is one of those, it just gets the blood flowing if you happen to walk out of here with this win. And University of Michigan's going to do everything they can come down the stretch to make sure they don't.
0.3 off the clock, so 20.3 with Williams to the line.
The big thing they want Aaron is because he can really push the ball down the floor.
Williams continues, and talk about that Matta getting it into the hands of Williams for this situation.
Now the other end of it too is Nairn. It's tough to step up and make him slow down. You've got to run back at half court and try and contain him there. If you get him on a full head of steam, he's going to turn the corner and exploit you.
Williams, that is just his second free throw miss of the year. Still a 4.2 possession game.
Got to go quick to the rim, I think. You don't need the three.
Bridges attacks on the baseline, draws the double, nearly throws it away. Seconds ticking away. Back out, Langford misses. Bridges can't get the follow into the hands of Jay Sean Tate. And the junior who has never beaten Michigan State in his Buckeye career heads to the free throw line to ice it with 2.3.
How hard is it to win a game? You are pressured right to the end. And your conversation yesterday with Tate had a little smile to it too. He wanted a little bit of payback.
So after the 0-4 start, 3 of those on the road. Ohio State needing a win on this Sunday in Columbus against the Spartans. Tate gets the first of 2, extending the lead to 5. And for Michigan State, after the loss at Penn State at the Palestra, next time back on the road, they'll take their second Big Ten loss. Bridges has the rebound. A sparkling day for the freshman Bridges, but it's Ohio State snapping the 5-game losing streak to the Spartans and getting their first Big Ten win of 2017.
Pretty impressive.
So for Bill Raftery, Carter Blackburn sings So Long from Columbus. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports, home of the 2017 Men's National Championship. We'll send you to Adam Zucker and Inside College Basketball, presented by Progressive Insurance, after